Oh, yeah. It's another wonderful hump day. It's a hot one today. Let's get it started.
The camel in his workshop grinding, sawdust flying, circuits winding. He's got waffles stacked, syrup dripping, PC parts on the bench, ideas flipping. Wednesday's here, it's the vibe he craves. Hump day glory.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Happy hump day. Mike shouts loud. Waffles in one hand, he's feeling proud. PC builds, oh what a display. Mike's the king of hump day. He's strutting his style, floppy disks piled up in a messy file. Pixels flash, screens ignite. Mike's got a workshop that glows all night. Yeah, every screw, every wire, his art. Wednesday's magic fuels his heart. Happy hump day, Mike shouts loud. Waffles in one hand, he's feeling proud. PC builds, oh what a display. Mike's the king of hump day.
All right, Wafflers, it's hump day, baby. Let's go. Get in on that waffle, exclamation mark waffle for your chance. We're going to be waffling here real soon. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Big hump, big bite, name Mike, sun bright, sand in my kicks, but I walk so light. Got a crate full of better and my grill on high. Every Wednesday morning they line outside. They don't come for the coffee, they come for the ride. I'm the camel with the lettuce and the syrup on the side. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Waffle up. Mike and the dudes turn breakfast to a sport that's tough. We ain't got no pancakes here, just square soaking up that love. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Hey. I play shows in the shade logo on the stage, Thermaltake lights up, whole crowd in the blaze, fans chant Mike K. Every time that I raise on the gold, waffle to the sky like praise. Got crumbs in my beer, syrup drip on my chain. Got a lot of cool camels trying to get in my lane. I just laugh, flip that and let them taste the flame. If you roll with the herd, better know the name. Mike, it's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Waffle up. Mike and the dudes turn breakfast to a sport that's tough. We ain't got no pancakes here, just square soaking up that love. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Left hump, right hump, throw your hands up. If you're riding midweek and you never tap out, never. If your team waffle, let me hear you shout. Waffle up, that's what we about. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Waffle up. Mike and the dudes turn breakfast to a sport that's tough. We ain't got no pancakes here, just square soaking up that love. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Waffle up if you got the stuff.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? Welcome. How is everybody doing today? Happy hump day. Oh, it's another wonderful Wednesday. Let's go. How's everybody doing today? Good to see ya. Wednesday. Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday. Oh, it's a hot one today here. It's getting probably about 100 degrees, I think. Gonna get a little toasty here in the waffle room. A little toasty in here, you know? Hope you guys are all staying cool out there. I know it's definitely heating up for a lot of people. You guys have to keep me posted on the FIFA scores. Let me know what's going on with the game. I appreciate you being here or watching me and or having me on an alternate tab while watching FIFA. I do appreciate that. Yeah, dude, I've been hearing for Canada, man. I wish you the best, bro. From California, I can definitely understand. I can definitely understand. Oh, man. 0-0 still? Okay. Thank you. I know it's like I'm getting all set up and everything. I'm like trying to see what's going on and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's just those fun things, the fun times. It's kind of like when, you know, Sony does like PlayStation like Expo Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I'm like, come on, man, I want to watch it.
Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike.
Ken is coming in with the 32 months.
Kenneth3237 just
appreciate it, Ken.
32 months.
Thanks for all the love, man. Happy Waffle Wednesday.
Let's go. Therma 20 nice. Therma 20 cam. Therma 20 nice. Therma 20 cam. Therma 20 nice. Therma 20 cam.
CA Heat has not set anything on fire yet. Yet. It's like an earthquake winter. Right? It's not if, it's when. But hey, you know what? Regardless of all those things, all that stuff going on, we're here to break up your week. Try to cool you off a little bit, even though we like to keep the waffles a little warm around here, you know what I'm saying? We like to give out some nice hot waffles. You know, a nice little frozen waffle treat's not bad either. You know, we've had those on the show too. Always good. Team Waffle, let's go. Why you make me watch it so hard today? I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Should we just cancel stream and watch FIFA together? Here, let's get canceled, everyone. Let's just get canceled. Let's just stream FIFA right now on stream. We're not that popular.
Hashtag Thermaltake needs more cases with disk drives. Hey Thermaltake, if you can hear this, we need more cases with disk drives.
More cases, more disk drives. I appreciate it, Blue. I appreciate it. Now, if you could get the RAM prices to come down a little bit, maybe optical drives could be a part of that. Do optical drives need chips too? I think it was funny because like we were talking about optical drives the other day. We were talking about optical drives and I was like, they still make them like internal optical drives, right? And then we started talking about like the VCR, like that there's no company today that makes a brand new VCR. I mean, you can find them on eBay, but dude, they're like big money. And I saw this video, this guy was like, yeah, I just go by the garage sales, pick up the old VCRs for like $5 and sell them for like $200 on eBay because you can't buy a VCR anymore. You know, it makes you think too if like the tape, I know this might be hard for some, but is the tape even still good? Like even if you had that VCR, but it might be something important. You got a VCR laying around and everything. You might have some gold sitting on your desk. You never know. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Am I right? But yeah, dude, I feel you on that. I feel you on that, Blue. And then, you know, Blue, when you can do that too, can you ask Sony to keep physical drives too? Like, I appreciate my physical media, especially with console. Like 1,000 times over with console compared to PC. You know what I mean? Let them know too, please. Please. Send a memo. Send a memo. Thank you. ThermalMike says, please, please, please help us, please. In need of temperance, appreciate the 3-3. Hope you guys are doing good. Oh, we got a banger today. We're wrapping up our View 390. I'm gonna probably jump on it here pretty quick. We still got a good amount to do. I think, I've been kind of just going over like the last couple of streams, right? And I'm just like, I like to break down and talk about certain things, but it's like, you know, at the same time, I don't get to finish the build. But it's like, I feel the importance of being able to talk about those certain points. You know, it's like, oh, well, what do I put in first, second, or third? Is it gonna affect me? Or like, what fits in there? And I feel that there's tons of companies out there, right, that will talk about You know, oh, you can put this here, you can put that there. You know, oh, it supports this, it supports that, blah, 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 whatever. You know, you can get that from a website. You know what I mean? But I feel that, and what I like to do more, the only problem with it is it takes up time, right? Is to kind of help a user, explain to them like, oh, if you're gonna go this, if you're gonna use this case, like, what steps should I take so that I'm not frustrated, right? I mean, when you build in the case, you know, 15 times, or like something like a Core P series, I built like 100+ times, right? I know the case inside and out. I could probably build a system in a P3 blindfolded, just because I've done it so many times. You know, muscle memory. You know what I mean? But like those kind of things, like, I hope you guys appreciate. Do try for this stuff to kind of get some things out there. I do need to work on kind of trimming up some shorts though, to give you guys the little pieces of the stream, because I know not everybody can watch, and especially watch the whole time. And that's what I think really makes me feel special is you guys that come in here. I mean, dude, we've only been streaming for like 10 minutes. You guys are jumping in on the Waffle, and you know, I get that, dude. We're doing a giveaway. You know, there's a nice incentive there and everything, but I really appreciate you guys that hang out. You know what I mean? Hang on, stick around. You know what I mean? I hope you guys appreciate the content, you know? We had some fun. We're going to be wrapping up the View 390, like I was saying today. And we got something special actually lined up for next week, but I can't tell you too much. I can't tell the lizard too much right now. We got to wait and see, but we're going to have a banger next week. Going a little old school, and I think you guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the announcements, as we're gonna do some special stuff next week, and details to come. And hope you guys will be here for a waffle or two. Hang out with us. You know what I mean? Do some fun stuff. Got some fun stuff lined up though, but I can't talk too much right now. Can't talk too much. Alpha coming in, appreciate the 27, dang, bruh.
27 months is a long time.
That's a long time, dog. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Alpha. Much love, Waffle Man. That's right. All my wafflers. What a crazy way to go through all these years of streaming for Thermaltake, and I say Waffle more than I say Thermaltake. Is that a bad portfolio? Is that a bad portfolio? Yeah, so I worked at Thermaltake for 12 years, and I talked a lot about waffles on Wednesdays, and you know, product stuff and things like that. Ooh, somebody scored goal! Oh, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully you'll be. Oh, you know, I totally forgot to turn on my little timer thingy. Dang it! I totally spaced on the timer thingy.
I want bananas on my waffle.
Ooh, 0-1 England. Let's go. See what happens. Let's see what happens. Will the waffle be over by the time the game is? That will be interesting. That'll be interesting. I like bananas on my waffles. All right. Let's jump into it. Yes, sir. Oh, so, you know, wait a second. Oh, no, that's just the live stream stuff. Sorry. I thought I got a message. I was just double checking. At Thermaltake Live, yeah, it should. Yeah, we'll see. Dude, so I was, you know, you guys were talking about the white background and all that stuff. So, funny enough, I've used this Chrome extension, right? It's called the Dark Reader. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Dark Reader as a little extension, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting to check it out on like in a stream aspect. You know what I mean? Because to be fair, I usually don't go to our website too often, but I really do like this Dark Reader extension. Just kind of make it a little bit better. So yeah, I do enjoy this for a lot of things. It's just this is what makes it interesting for me, right? Is that you can tell these aren't PNGs. It's like yeah, you know, you're like, oh, well, I mean, like stuff like this is kind of interesting. You know, I thought it was different. So, you know, you can always have a different experience with stuff. And I would say majority of what I search online and what I do, because I love dark mode everything, and I'm a big fan of that. But like, it's just kind of funny because I never really kind of browse through our website, especially like stuff like this, going like, dude, what's Dark Reader doing here? You know what I mean? But either way, cool little extension if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, even like if I, you know, I mean, Google's always been like Google, you know what I mean? But like if I, you know, go to YouTube, I mean, it's still all just been, you know, like this to me is normal still. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm just used to it, just not as much on the stream PC. You know what I'm saying? But I listened. I made some changes. But yeah, we are wrapping up our View 390 Air. Cool case. I mean, definitely a different look. I mean, if you are just set on having you know, a moonroof skylight for your system, this might be one of the only cases on the market that will give you those kind of angles and those views. The View 390 offers a lot, including backwards connector support. And one of the things I really like about it, as being a unique case as it is with the window, it also supports 200 mil fans up front. So it's definitely different when you look at a lot of the other boxes, or even fish tanks for that matter, that are out there. I mean, it's kind of funny when a lot of people wrap the glass around the front, but yet for this one, we went over the top. You know what I mean? Clip that, Twitch. Clip that. Clip it. Let's see if it works. Oh, dude, I was going to ask you guys. So on the little chat thing, when you guys came in on the stream, does it give you the little like AI summary of what we're talking about? I was curious if you guys are seeing that. Feel free to drop in what AI is saying about Waffle Day. I'd love to know. Because I don't think it's for everybody. I mean, we're not a partner on Twitch, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure we get it. Okay, we don't get it. Okay. But yeah, if it ever does pop up, let me know. I've been seeing that out there. I think it's more for like partners and stuff, you know, not a small little Waffles over here, you know what I'm saying? But still though, it you know, it's always interesting. I was like, what is this at first? And then, you know, it started popping up and, you know, doing its thing and everything. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, if you just want like what they're talking about, like, and some of them are actually quite funny. And I've been seeing a lot of people posting it in the chat saying, is this really what you're talking about? It's kind of funny, man. I have a lot of stuff that blocks AI sources, so I don't think I'd see it anyway. So, okay, good. Lock it down, Sith. Lock it down. You have to publish it manually, I believe, when you say that. Well, I know that I did the clip thing, and it worked because it said that it clipped. Well, I'm gonna say it again, and it's just gonna do it again. It's the whole like Xbox turn off kind of crap, right? It's gonna be like the new thing. It's gonna be like the new thing. Like, now here's the funny part is that like, and you're more, but feel free to test this. But you know, if you did like a TTS, on Twitch, right? And in the TTS, you said those two magical words. Does that actually then react from the TTS voice versus my voice, like this microphone, or does it pick from all the sources? You know what I mean? It'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, we are finishing up our View 390 build here today. You know, we've done a couple of streams on this already, getting the motherboard installed, going over the 1, 2, 3 as far as what you need to know, what things fit, where they fit, and what's best to put in first, second, or third, or last, or whatever. We're going to be wrapping that up today as we got a lot of our cooling installed. We got our AIO thrown in there too, but we still need to mount it onto our amazing Intel CPU. The bad boy's look. It needs a hat. It needs its hat, so that way we can get everything going. But yeah, hopefully getting that thing all fired up today. Have some waffles and just sit back and relax, man. Enjoy that hump day. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. We got a lot going. Let's jump on over. Whoop. Let's jump on over. It's always fun, you know, when you do when I'm sitting here and it's like I look at this then after each stream, and then, you know, I'll kind of like poke around with it. And it's like, I want to do like, I just, it's so hard to just not touch it. And it's so hard to just kind of like, all right, I'm going to leave it the way it is. So that way next stream we're picking right back up where we left off. You know what I mean? It is really hard. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't want to Dragon Ball you guys and rewind and take stuff out and then reinstall it again in the beginning of every stream, because we're like, well, dude, we just did that at the end of last week. You know, those things are, you know, those things happen. Those things happen. I don't use AI blockers because when AI takes over the world, I don't want to have the mistake and apologize to AI. Have you gotten in an argument with ChatGPT yet? Like when ChatGPT is just totally wrong, and then you go to tell it it's wrong.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it
Hey,
is?
TTC coming in.
Anybody?
Appreciate the tier 1
Guess
for
what
6
day it
months.
is? Oh, come on, I know you can
We
hear me.
work on computers every stream. Let's
What
go.
day is it, Mike?
Me too. Well, mostly. You know, it'd be fun to do some gaming every now and then.
We work on computers every Steam.
Awesome. Nuru coming in with the 5 stream streakage. Appreciate you, by the way. Thanks for subbing in, watching, all the funs, all the waffles, all the things. All the things. But yeah, so kind of like where we left off here with the View 390, we were talking about the fan install. We were talking about the AIO install, like what matters, what priorities should I consider first, second, and third. So a lot of that stuff we did cover over the last couple of streams. This will be pretty much our wrap-up stream here for this, and hopefully we get everything all set up, good to go, and you know, get a nice post here on our transformative teal color. This color is just wild. I feel bad because it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's stripped down, and it's just, you know, it's like the lighter color. You're not really seeing the richness of that transformative teal like we kind of showcased, you know, when we first started doing this and talking about the case. Now all the panels come off and all that
I've
stuff.
gotten into an argument with ChatGPT. First it told me I was wrong, then I provided my proof, then it told me I was right, and then it apologized.
I've done that too, and it's definitely apologized to me as well. And I've even told it certain things where, like, can you please, like, I'm trying to think, how did I say it? Like, can you please remember this so you don't make this mistake again? Because I ran into a scenario, and you know, it's like when you're random stuff, right? And it's like tech stuff or whatever, PC crap. And I asked it one thing like maybe last week, and then I asked something, and you know, different but related, and it gave me the same answer wrong again and everything. Because you know, it's cool when like you ask it something and it says, oh hey, you talked about this last week and this and that, it blah blah blah, you know, and it's like it's doing that whole remembering thing, which I do really appreciate that. But I think it's really funny because like I've had it tell me the wrong thing about the same topic more than once, and then I've told it to remember that what you're telling me is wrong, and then, you know, hey, here's a link, blah blah, you know, this and that, as far as like, no, that's not true, right? And then it of course apologizes, but it still came back and told me the wrong story again. I'm just like, well, I thought you were supposed to remember this, Mr. Chatbot. You know what I mean? And maybe it's listening though. I should be careful, right? The AI gods are listening. You know what I mean? I mean, if I can say clip that on Twitch, that means AI is listening to every single word that I'm saying on stream, right? So that's kind of interesting. And that they just snuck that in there saying, oh hey, we got this cool new thing in there. Now they're gonna record and transcript everything. Could you imagine what the story, like, could you imagine that they would have a word by word, like just in just a script format of what everybody says on all streams the whole entire time, and somebody could utilize, think of the data, all that data right there, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Find Sarah Connor. We need to find Sarah Connor. Done that, it tells me, sorry, I don't have the ability to remember. It's like, unfortunately, due to limitations, because our other data centers haven't been built yet. I don't have the ability to remember this. It's all about that. It's all the RAM. They're stealing all the memories. All the memories.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah, memory's tough out there, man. Memory is tough out there. I mean, you're looking at my beautiful. I got 2 sticks of RAM in here. You know, at a low price of only $19.99.99. Thank God there's no more 99. It's almost like if you're selling RAM today, you're literally becoming a used car salesman. You know what I mean? NVIDIA's the dealership, you know, with their graphic cards. But man, RAM is like, I mean, you know, it's just you're going to that used car lot that you drive by that's got the little flags. Maybe it's got the little balloon dude with the little wacky wavy arm thing. You know what I mean? You might as well just be selling RAM on that lot. You know what I'm saying? It's tough out there. Selective memory at best. I know, right? Throttled. You got throttled. Oh, the memory woes, man. We can laugh. I just try to, you know, trying to laugh a little bit about it. It is definitely rough out there. It's definitely rough out there. So, we definitely got something powerful to put in here next. And, you know, when you're going about your different, you know, the installations as far as what you're going to put in, you know, for certain things, and especially when you're dealing with cases like this one, and I know I brought this up before, if you remember, but like, you know, with power supplies, especially when you're dealing with one that supports backwards connectivity, the power supply is going to be here in the middle versus like down below or even up top for that matter. And a lot of that is for those clearances for the cable connectors, because everything connects through the back of the PCB, not through the front of the PCB. So you get this nice, clean, just pristine look here in the front. You know what I mean? It's the mullet build of mullet builds with all the business here in the back, right? But you also have to consider too that once said power supply does get installed, you know, there's some cableage that could more or less become somewhat of a problem. I mean, take for example Exhibit A. We have the fans from the back of the case, you know, those route right through there. And I mean, you know, maybe you want to do a clean little route with the cable. You want to run it down this little backside right here, and then, you know, throw the power supply in behind it, because we're not going to be putting the fan facing into the motherboard. That is a no-no, my friends. If you're doing that, please switch your power supply around. Let the poor thing breathe. You know what I mean? But, you know, with perforated panels on the back and all that, we can then go right here and add our power supply in, get all our cables connected up, and so on and so forth. But I mean, do you want to go through a little bit of a headache, you know, going one way versus the other? Where like, if we would have put the power supply in early, this could have caused us some, you know, unfortunate situations with either just trying to route the perfect cable, or for the matter of just forgetting to put the back plate on your motherboard for your nice little AIO cooler that you want to slap in, but you put the power supply in and now it's blocking the back. Well, hey, we took care of that and talked about that one already, but is it safe now to put the power supply in? And then in regards to that and everything, same with around the front and everything. I could easily go ahead and mount the AIO on to my CPU and get, you know, that particular portion done. I mean, would it necessarily get in my way for stuff? I mean, it would, you know, what kind of pros and cons would you have of, you know, mounting the pump right now in regards, or even slapping the graphics card in there, right? And I think a lot of that would determine, you know, you'd have two different sides, right? And a lot of that is funny enough because your motherboard connectors have two different sides. So ideally, like if you have a backwards connector motherboard, then mounting stuff like the graphics card could work, but I would still kind of wait on that. But I could definitely put the AIO pump on and, you know, mount this up here because, you know, it's more or less not going to be in the way a lot. But at the same time, if my connectors were on the front side, then I have stuff like the 24 pin. I got my USB 3, I got my Type C and everything. And a lot of that, you know, kind of sneaks right here in the middle. And, you know, that could kind of get in the way, or with like the tubes and stuff once you mounted the CPU block and all that. So if if you had the motherboard with the connectors on the outside, I might want to plug in all the connections and install the power supply first, where if I have the connectors on the back side of the system, the power supply then more or less becomes a problem and it's in the way because of like the connectors. And then you got, you know, it's about like all this stuff just in the way. You're trying to fish in there to, you know, plug in the HD audio. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of can have different experiences depending on which way your connectors go on your system. But either way, I think it's a fun thing to talk about. I mean, it's just really interesting when
My wife orders so much from Amazon that if I got a job as an Amazon driver, they'd probably just let me work from home.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Wives do love their Amazon, my friend. Wives do love their Amazon. I totally understand that. But yeah, like connections and everything, depending on which way you're going to go, you can have, it really all kind of depends on the components you put in the case. It's not necessarily the case's fault. Same thing kind of goes with, like if you're going to do the optional 6-inch screen on the top, there is a cable that plugs into the said screen that's got to plug into the motherboard. And that can vary too, depending if that connection's on the front side or on the back side, depending on, you know, what motherboard you go with in reference to the case. Case's going to do it either way. But as far as how you install it, either way, can definitely be a difference for you and everything. So, you know, just kind of taking some things, you know, for what they are with that. Like, I mean, normally I would probably be putting the pump on after I install the power supply because I like to have my room to plug the 24-pin, you know, route all the cables through their little grommets and stuff like that and everything. But I mean, in a situation like this, it makes it a little bit easier, which is kind of funny when you think about it, when you're just kind of going through your normal, like, how do I tell people the right way to do it? You know, how do I, you know, what's the best way to put this together? You know what I mean? And I like to focus on that a lot because it's fun because, you know, every case is different. You know what I mean? You get, you know, depending on what you have, what you do. And a lot of that was just kind of coming to, you know, plugging in something simple like the USB 3 or the Type C, or even, you know, trying to run the cables down here for like the HD audio or the front panel and everything. I have a little bit of a bird's nest down here that I got to clean up, of course, but do I really want to do that with the power supply right there over the top, you know, just finding everything through the wires, trying to figure out where's it go with the connections? There's too many cables. What do I do? And then you got the whole over and under thing too. We're like, oh, I don't want this cable this way or that way. And I get it. I totally get it. A lot of us are very particular with our cable routing, and we want everything to look clean. We don't care that we're the only ones that can see it. It's because I know it's there, right? It's always been because I know that it is there. So we're going to do a couple little cleanups on some cableage to try to make stuff a little bit more convenient, I guess you would say. And I think this can relate a lot with people doing just about any dual chamber case. And, you know, then the variance, I think, goes depending on like the motherboard stitch, because the backwards connector board is definitely not your, you know, normal. It's definitely interesting. And I've been kind of curious too, like, you know, how like that backwards connectivity board stuff really kind of comes into play. I mean, I know with this market right now, you're probably like, well, Mike, we can't even get the RAM to even do that, to even complain about which way the connectors go. And I get you on that. But, you know, you still gotta move forward regardless. I mean, some of us, it's not necessarily because we want to upgrade, but sometimes it's because we have to, because maybe something went wrong. Maybe something didn't, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of factors that can go in, you know, get involved there and everything. Like I'm just kind of sorting, you know, I like to kind of spread the cables out. You know, I got my PWM, I got my ARGB. This is all going to daisy chain together nicely. I got a nice simple cable right here on the back of the case to plug this all in. And, you know, make it pretty straightforward as far as, you know, how we go with everything. You know what I mean? So there's all that fun stuff too. Did my joke play? I was in the ad. Yes, it did, see play. Yes, it did. It was really funny. Oh. And I think and because you missed that, I think the other funny thing too is that it's especially dangerous when you're not just that your wife orders from Amazon, but she works from home. Because then if she works from home, then she's able to not just place the order, but hide the boxes. Until you look on the weekend when you got to take the trash out and go, whoa, where'd all those packages come from that are cleverly, conveniently smashed into the recycle bin? No, but I get it though, man. It is a nice convenience. It is a nice convenience. Oh, we were. Did it not? It didn't like. There we go. Oh, I didn't like keep its thing going. Make sure. There we go. I don't want it too loud. Oh, okay. And I mean, even with this stuff and like with this stuff and everything, you kind of really got to play around with it a little bit. See if I can get a nice little angle on the dangle here for you. Get my little braceage with my custom contraption. My custom contraptions. See if I can get it. I guess if I can get a little bit lower here. Hold on. There we go. Quick little adjust on that. And then hopefully I don't hit this dang thing while I'm doing stuff. But there we go. I mean, like I was saying, like, you know, when you got your USB 3, you got like your Type C, you have like stuff like this hanging down. Do you really want that power supply taking up all this real estate, you know, right now in regards to everything, right? So let's just kind of play around with a little bit of these cables. Let's kind of see what's going on. I mean, even this stuff, like where it is, like I just want it out of my way. I just want this kind of stuff like just out of my way. I am not going to be doing like some fancy dancy cable management on this one this time, but you know, I mean, I got like stuff like this where this is going to be, you know, most of my front panel connections, but then I got my 24 pin right here, you know, my USB 3 Type C right there, SATA ports if needed that are there. A lot of nice little cable mounts though along the back. And I think that's what's really important when you look at, you know, like what the manufacturer did. I mean, even over here on the side like this, I mean, this is a nice little option to be able to just kind of secure this over to this side, give you a little bit more room here for the 24 pin, or you can just combo it up and just put it all in one and kind of bundle it up too. There, just the way. Let me get some zip ties real quick. I mean, a lot of this sometimes it's just nice to just kind of have these kind of pulled out of the way a little bit. I mean, hey, we are trying to show you guys stuff, you know what I mean? And last thing I need is just a bunch of cables in the way, you know? But yeah, if you guys are jumping in, we are wrapping up our View 390. We do have an active Waffle going on right now. Dude, there's even, I don't know if you can move this down here. Look, there's even cool little mount. Look at all the other mounts down here on the bottom too. I do kind of like that you have some other options like on the floor as well as like right here. And I don't think you see too much of this kind of stuff on the back. I mean, yeah, these are all like the cutouts here for like a micro ATX backwards connector boards where like ATX is down here. So that's why you'll see the additional holes because it's supporting the two form factors, right? So it's just kind of different, you know, when you're looking at those kind of things. Kudos to anyone making PC content in 2026. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely tough out there right now. And especially, you know, my heart goes out to all the amazing content creators that, you know, we work with here at Thermaltake, right? And you know, they're having some challenges too, just trying to find work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not about like, oh, well, they cost so much and everything. It's like, dude, it's not even literally about, you know, like paying somebody for this kind of things. Like, they're like, do you have memory? Like, can you help me with components? Like, and because it's just so hard to get. It's such a big ask today, you know, to get stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, even for us, I mean, yeah, we do make memory, but I'm sold out. I'm sold out of my RAM. It's all, you know, being utilized for LCGS amongst other things. So, you know, there's a lot of that stuff that's going on. And, you know, there's just definitely not enough of it. But then, like, you know, I got cooling and I got fans and cases. I mean, thank God cases don't need chips. You know what I'm saying? My goodness, you know? All right, now we got our ARGB don't know if you can see this, but there's two little arrows there. There you go. So you just want to make sure you line up the arrows. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You know, you just the two on one side, one on the other. I mean, however it works best for you. You just want to make sure that you get it seated right. You don't want to push too hard, but like there are these little arrows right there, which I think is a nice little add-on for stuff like that. And then of course this allows you to daisy chain to continue on, and or with this I have the connector. It's here somewhere. There's one up here. There's one up here on the top, so that could be a good candidate for this guy. Oh, let me tilt this back up. There we go. But you know, like we got one spot up here, and we usually have another spot down here in the bottom, which is it's down here in the bottom corner. So kind of think about like, you know, where your fans are at, where everything's going, like what's going to make the most sense. Like I have these over here for this side, and this is basically going to be the two 200 fans. Look at these bad boys spin right here. These two 200 mil fans that we got right there, and then of course our AIO for the 3 fans. But luckily we only have to deal with one cable on that. And, you know, we're just kind of just linking all of these fun things together. You know, same thing kind of goes with like the PWM and everything. You can daisy chain PWM a lot and not really have too many worries about it. So then like with this one right here, we could go into this bottom one. We have kind of this one here on the bottom too, to kind of consider going one way or the other with it. But we're just going to keep it simple. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect all 3. I'm going to connect all 3 here on the bottom for the ARGB. I want this to go this way, not that way. And then it's like, you know, you got these kind of cables right. Oh, if I get the freaking angle, sorry. There we go. Like, there we go. So like, you know, my HD audio, classic HD audio over there. With this, we have some on this side, some on that side, and a couple dangling down, you know, from the front. And I mean, you know, we have all our fans installed, so it's not like there's going to be more cables, which is always grateful. You know what I mean? But let's see, we'll go with this. Take a quick little peek. We got 2 on the left, 1 on the right, and that's going to be our ARGB connection. And I mean, a lot of this stuff you can kind of do a nice, let's see, yeah, you can do like a nice little foldage, kind of catching up the slack where like this one's short, this one's a little bit longer. I can maybe get like an extra fold or 2 in there with that, and definitely you know, kind of bundle this a little bit better than it just hanging all loose and everything at the moment, you know what I mean? Because I mean, sometimes if you just throw like a little zip tie on here just to kind of keep the bundleage together, then if I want to zip tie this, say like here or down here, I can always just add, you know, just add another zip tie, you know what I mean? Let's see if I get, trying to get this, let's see if I go over it this way with it a little bit more. There we go. It's more for me and for you. And then see this also too, this is just my ARGB, right? So then I have my PWM. Now, when you look at some of these, the other thing to consider too is that like the fans with the 200 come with a pass-through. So the pass-through makes it easier, so I can kind of do 2-into-1 with this. But then with some of the other fans, for just the standard fans and everything, they're just straight PWM connections, right? So, I mean, we have a good amount of them, top and bottom, as far as those go. You know, you could get a splitter, and you could go with a splitter and just keep a single option, especially if you want to keep everything a little bit lower versus like, you know, kind of going up here with this one and going down there with that one. So, you know, there's some things to make decisions on. I mean, I'm looking down here at the bottom with what I have available. I got 2 PWMs right here on the bottom, so these work pretty good. I also have a good amount of them up here on the top. So I mean, stuff like this, where I have this guy over here on this side, I can easily sneak like right up here, you know what I mean, and do one of these things, plug this in like that. I mean, most of this is gonna get hidden behind or in front of with the 24 pin, but at the same time, I kind of got it up and out of the way. It's already plugged in. My 24 pins more or less gonna go like in front of it. so it's not going to be too big of an issue. And then we can just take a nice little, nice little zip tie right here. Nice little zip tie right here. We just got to make sure we face it the right way. When are they going to start making zip ties that work like Type-C cables? It doesn't matter which side you zip it on. Does that make sense? What side you want to zip it? Zip it good. And then, like, I mean, stuff like this one is pretty easy. I mean, it's literally right there, so why not? But then you have a little bit extra right there. But like I said, you could nice little fold it all up, tuck it away. Things like that are pretty easy. Now, you know, with all of this being said, why does he care about cables? Old heads, cable management needs to be better, dude. I think cable management, I don't feel is very entertaining content wise, but I do feel that it does have its place when you're talking about order of operation and you know, like what you're gonna go through, because we do, and I like to promote a lot on not finalizing what I'm gonna do with my cable management, especially before we haven't even booted the system up. But I do like to make sure that everything is fully functional before I go back in here and give it that final treatment, you know, that final just look over. I can go in, zip tie, I can zip tie with confidence, knowing that what I got in here is working. So that always comes as a nice advantage for me. So, because if something's not where I'm not going back to dig through to find out what's not plugged in or what still is plugged in, you know what I mean? There's a lot of fun stuff in regards to that. Oh, I saw my connector popping through here. Oh, there. Because then we still have the other connector, you know, for the AIO in the front, and that's going to power the fan that's going to be on there, because we have 2 more PWMs for our particular AIO cooler. And with those 2 particular AIO coolers, I mean, where I'm looking at, you know, just kind of keeping this up towards the top, it's taking up an extra spot where I only have 1 PWM conveniently on the top. And for me, I want to pull this out because I want to keep those 2 free ports on the top for my AIO, because I thought about what my AIO needed, where it's going to go, and how long the cable is. Because the last thing you want to do is do all this cable management, make everything just look amazing. And then when you go to put the AIO in, you're like, oh, I need that PWM spot. And then you start thinking of shortcuts. You start thinking of workarounds. You start going through all the fun little things that you like to go through, you know? So sometimes it's just good to kind of plan a little bit on where you'd want to go with certain stuff. And it's not going to matter necessarily if your PWM's here or there. This is not, the PC's not going to care. I mean, granted, you know, the port's got to be enabled. I think they figured that part out, at least for the most part. You know what I mean? And I mean, same thing like with this guy right here for the ARGB. I mean, it's literally right here on the top, and it's got the 2 on the right side. Interesting enough that this goes 1, 1, 1. So I don't want to do the hand sign because I know you know what that means, but it's got the 2 pins together are on the right side here, but they're on the left side on the bottom. Is that intentional? Did somebody put the connector on backwards when soldering it to the PCB? Did they think about this when they were creating the traces? People want to know. But then, like, you know, if I'm going to do something like this, and I'm ideally doing this as an example, right? But if I'm doing something like this where I want to utilize that bottom PWM, and I mean, you know, my RGB up here, not going to matter. You know what I mean? But what's going to matter is that, excuse me, if I'm going to go with a PWM near on the bottom, this power supply could be in the way if it's already pre-installed. So now that I kind of, it's not that, all right, you know, I'm going to write down every single step, because I'm not that, you know, I'm not that crazy on the details, right? Don't think most people are. Some people are, but not everybody. But like kind of working your way through a little bit of this to kind of just get an understanding of, like, you know, what you want to, you got to make sure stuff plugs in. You got to make sure you use the right port, but you also got to make sure you have enough connectors for where you're going to plug stuff in, because sometimes the motherboard company could put it in one place versus another, and it can make or break what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, now I gotta go back this way and go that way. And we've talked about that a lot. We've talked about that a lot. You know what I mean? Oh. Yeah, keep me updated on the FIFA scores while we build here. And see, I'm just gonna tuck this bad boy just right back over like a this. Right back over like a this. Now I need to, so I got my power supply cable. Now we do have some USB stuff to plug in. I need to get one more cable. Well, that's not it either. I thought I had that cable right here. It's probably over there. I'll grab it in a minute. But like, you know, we still have to run like our USB header stuff in there and everything. Good coming in. 60 soon, dude. Thank you so much, bro, for the tier 2 for 57 months, bro. That, dude, that's crazy, man.
003
that's a lot of waffles.
57 months. 60 soon.
Thank you, good. Much love, man. Hope things are good. Here, you know, for that, I'm going to give you a 200 mil spin. There you go, baby. Just for you. Just for you. I can't do this every stream, but when I can, I will. 100%, baby. 100%. All right. So with the majority of this stuff kind of plugged in, we do have to kind of then venture into tackling all the connections for the power supply. Now, you know, if you have an idea of what you're going to need, you definitely don't necessarily need to plug everything into the power supply. I mean, fully modular power supplies are nice, but you don't need every cable particularly plugged in. So you kind of think about like, all right, so am I going to need this or am I going to need that? I mean, you know, I think the obvious ones, of course, is like your EPS, you know, your 24 pin, because I mean, hey, let's be honest, you want the thing to turn on. But, you know, stuff like SATA or Molex, I mean, these things can vary depending on what you do. I mean, if you're just going to have like a nice 4 terabyte SSD, because those are cheap right now. You know what I mean? Or just utilizing old hard drives, because good Lord, would I not want to pay the prices that are going on today for storage. You know what I mean? You might want to include one or maybe multiple Molex connections off of your power supply. But it is nice with a dual chamber PC like this. It's probably the best case scenario for your power supply. I mean, one, it's up and it's out of the way. Mounts right there, you know, on the side, back side of the case. All this stuff has a lot of extra room to kind of hang down. You have like so much room to be able to check connections, make sure stuff is secured from like, you know, a case where it's like on a power cover and it's buried under the bottom there. And you're not worried about that connector on this side. You're worried about the connector on this side after you installed the power supply. You want to make sure you didn't pull too hard on the cable or dislodge something. I mean, those fun things can be so much fun, can't they? They can be so much fun. I'm gonna get some of our power screws over here from my pile of screws. But hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. It's a hot one today. Waffles are extra hot today. If you want to get in on said waffle, exclamation mark waffle in the chat. If you're not seeing everybody else doing it, why aren't you doing it? Come on, you know you want to. You know you want to. We're also live on Twitch and YouTube, so you guys can double down on those waffle stacks if you'd love to, because I'd love you to as well. Get in on those extra entries. The more, the merrier. We love giving back here. Love giving back here. And yeah, if you hang out, we got waffles coming up. Your name comes up. Just shout, "I'm a waffle," and you will win. But you have to get picked first. You have to get picked first. Or I'd just give waffles to everybody, and we'd probably run out of money. Or we'd run out of waffles. We'd probably run out of waffles. And my boss would be like, "Dude, Mike, Why are the waffles so expensive this month? Why are the waffles so expensive? But I'm just trying to think. So I'm just sitting here thinking like, all right, is there anything else? I mean, yeah, I got to plug. Let me go see if I can find that USB cable really quick. Really quick. Be right back.
I'm signing my lashes. Don't hide, split them out like patches. Back tap from the butter, I'm stacking. Camel in the kitchen, deal wag, and I'm blacking.
Oh, that's for this.
For the brand. Flip one, flip two, serve for the jam. Jam, might for the dose for the mall. Buttery drinks, up a luck when you call it. Hey, let's get. My guy waffles, I'm get. If you want that steak and share my name, I'll bring that drip. They go, they rate. This song, big. Let's get. Middle with a week, we lit. Channel on the mission into the call. Soaping up love in every single wall. Big big snot, big white wolf. I don't know that shit to go. I cross that sand.
I literally just had the cable right here. I literally just did. It's a very unique cable too. It's not like a particular cable. It's a very unique cable. It's not just a whatever USB cable. All right, I'll look for it later. We'll just have to play it by ear. We'll just have to play it by ear, chat. It's okay. These things happen. Dude, I like, you know, and I think that one of the biggest things, right, when building a PC is that like you drop that screw and you're like, where'd that screw? I'm like, oh, it's okay. I got another one. And then a week goes by and you find it and you're like, oh, there it is. There it is. Where have you been? Or the best part is you find it after you just installed it because you had to spend an extra 5 minutes looking for said screw. You know what I mean? Like, you know, an old, one of those old stories, you know, your grandpa tells you and everything is it's like, you know, sometimes it takes longer to find the right tool than it is to do the job. And I really do believe that because I've definitely been in that scenario. I don't know if you guys have, where I'm just like, everything can be fine right now, but where did this go? I know it was right here. You know what I mean? Good times. Good times, you know what I mean? At the bottom or something in the corner of a bag. You know, it's like, especially for me, like, you know, if I drop like whatever screw, like I think that even happened like last week, right? And then when you find it, it's way over there. And you're like, how did it get way over there? Like it really went that, did I kick it like yesterday, like when I didn't see it? How did it get way over there? Good stuff. Good stuff. Mr. Blue coming in for the 19.
Sume Blue. Sume
Much love.
Sume celebrate.
Almost two, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Happy hump day. Happy hump day indeed. But see, I mean, I think if you could kind of see what I was talking about a minute ago, where like, you know, why have this in your way when you could just kind of conveniently leave it here? Figure out what you're gonna do with a lot of the other cables, right? Before you bring in the big boys, you know, before you bring in all the bigness. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff like that you want to kind of think about. I mean, yeah, I like to just pre-connect my cables onto my power supply. I mean, this makes it so convenient because then I'm just running the cable through the case, plug it in, and it's done. I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to deal with the slack. We're going to have to zip tie things and make everything look pretty because, again, like I said, I know that it's going to be there. But we're going to get it fired up first, make sure everything works before we go back and spend all that fun little time. You know, especially like, you know, when I'm doing like a video project for Thermaltake and we're doing a build, right? But it's, you know, like, it's kind of like it's already built on camera, you know, because I'm not doing like a time lapse or like one of those things. Done plenty of those. You kind of pre-do the cable management like so much more because it's for a video, right? And it's just kind of funny. Like I'll sit there and I'll spend, I don't know, 45 minutes, a good hour, just clean cables. I want everything routed nice. I want you to be able to, you know, see everything still, even though it's all installed, right? So it makes it, oh, look how cool it is. Oh, look how cool it is. And then, you know, the video's over and you have to just, you gotta start, you gotta take it out. We're gonna start over and we're gonna move on, rinse and repeat in the next one. On to the next one. But, you know, sometimes I just like kind of look and I go, oh man, that one came out so good. I mean, don't get me started on hard tube runs. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I've done so many builds, not just on the channel, but for Thermaltake. And some of them have definitely been sad to see them go. Definitely some of them been sad to see them go, you know? It happens though. It definitely does happen. And then see, again, like with stuff like SATA cables, other peripheral type of cables, nice advantage of having the power supply just literally right here, just wide open. I mean, easy to unplug, plug back in later on without much worry with what we got going on. You know what I mean? It's not buried down in there to the point where I got to take the power supply back out in order to plug that connection. And that's, hey, where stuff like Dock Power comes in with some interesting ideas on certain fitments. You know, certain configs, it makes a lot more sense than say something like this, where you have that openness, you have that advantage, right? You know what I mean? So like, we just got EPSs right here. And then of course, the Gen 5, you know, that cable, that one, that particular cable. Well, like we'll kind of sort our EPS. And it's funny too, because the EPSs, they don't plug in through the front. So I don't have to route these guys around here or do anything. But then I guess the only takeaway from having backwards connector cables is, you know, you're going to have a little bit longer cables in the back, but to be fair, who's going to see it? Who's going to see it? You know what I mean? Laugh out loud, look at my stories. I got so burned yesterday, my skin hurts. Oh my gosh, Blue. Aloe vera, this man. Time to lube up. Time to lube up. Don't run your fans dry. Make sure you have extra fan lube. You may need it.
My new job requires me to lift heavy boxes, but I'm not strong enough. I'm gonna have to turn in my 2-week notice.
My new job requires me to lift heavy boxes. Not looking at you, Box. No, he's not calling you out or anything, but I'm not strong enough. I'm gonna have to turn in my 2-week notice. Yep. Lift with your legs. Lift with your legs. Now then, Gen 5, I mean, we all know that's gonna come out. That's the only cable that's literally gotta come out through the front here. So, how do we want to do it? Well, we got some options there with the case. Again, you have a couple little sneaky options that are down here. It could be a little bit of a tight fit, but then again, these kind of things come in regarding, you know, how you want to kind of plan ahead for stuff. I mean, depending on where you want to go and or what you want to do, I mean, you have a pretty straightforward solution with the case. And I think a lot of it's going to depend too on, you know, are you going to go vertical with it? Or are you going to go in traditional with the card? And, you know, how that's going to come in and then plug into your GPU. But for the time being, we'll just let it hang out for a little bit. At least it's routed there. I got definitely more length there, which is also a nice thing, because with this just being, I mean, it's just from the back side to the front side. And I mean, plenty of room where I'm not feeling like I'm, you know, the cable's too short where it's not just going to line up. You know what I'm saying? Dad jokes for the win. Discord, please. Do we need a dad jokes Discord channel? It's just another place for bots to spam. That's all I'm thinking. Like, oh, it's just for this guy to come in and say, oh, hey. I think the ones that are the most interesting is when you guys message me like in the middle of the night and say that you got this weird friend request. And I'm just like, yeah, that's a weird friend request and everything. Ban them. Ban them. They got a problem, they can reply. They can message me. Don't be doing no weird stuff, especially late at night around our Discord. No late night weird Discord things. I love those, dude. I love those vintage TT posts, man. I love those ones, dude. We had one. You reminded me. Who posted this one? Where is it? I'm trying to remember where that was now. Was that you, Teffin, that posted that one up? The air purifier? Where is that? Oh, there's too many things. The graphic cards catching fire. Nope, it wasn't that one. Late night weird pancake tacos. Yep, I can understand that. Oh no, Insignificant Other posted this. I thought this was pretty freaking cool. Oh yeah, that was my 404. Dude, ChatGPT 404'd on me earlier. That was crazy. But dude, look at this. This is an old Thermaltake product right here. This is the O3 air cooler, the Thermaltake Ozone 3 air cleaner and purifier. We had in-house purification before the in-house purification was a thing. The RAM cooler was me. Oh yeah. No. I saw that. That's but dude, this thing was definitely a weird product, right? I mean, besides the ashtray with the cup holder with the cigarette lighter, I asked about that, and I heard they were telling me that they can't do that anymore. They can't put like a car, like that push lighter, like they can't do those things like that. It's like a VCR. You can't just buy a VCR anymore. You know what I mean? Some weird stuff. But the Thermaltake Ozone 3 air clean air and purifier. And then I guess it had like little buttons here and everything. I wish I had one of these. Oh, were the days when part numbers were literally 5 digits. Now we have just insane, crazy amount of links of stuff. And then, and then Teffin posted this one too. Dude, this thing really takes me back. We did a lot of this stuff back in the day. This was a spin-off from the Golden Orb back when we were doing air cooling stuff. And then I've seen one of these in the warehouse probably like 10 years ago. And it was dusty. But this is the RAM Orb. And we had a variety of these where it was literally putting a heat spreader on RAM that you would buy that looks like ECC. You just naked RAM. And then this was like a RAM upgrade kit. Crazy how we went from nothing to then third party, aftermarket type of RAM cooling. Then every RAM manufacturer started putting heat spreaders on. And then that's been the situation for the longest time, right? I mean, I know we dabbled with the water RAM, and that was like you take the old heat spreader off, put different heat spreader on, and that was like the first difference in regards to these things. This sounds so cool, man. Really takes me back. It even says RAM Orb on the fan hub right here. If anybody has any cool old Thermaltake stuff, well, please shoot me a DM. I'd be interested if you're willing to part with it. I would definitely be interested if you're willing to part with it. And we can talk about that offline, of course. But man, yeah, if you guys ever see some fun stuff like that, dude, please share. I love those things. What does it do? Well, for the RAM cooler, right? It was to help cool your RAM. But you know the funny part about that, Blue? Back then, they didn't have temperature sensors on modules. Like, even today, not everybody has temperature sensors on their modules. A good amount of them do now. But back then, I don't think so. Trying to think on when did hardware info come out? It was a while, right? Oh, fun things. Yeah. This will be some random stuff for me to Google later when I'm trying to sleep, or I don't know, something. Something. Okay, so we got power supply back here. Pretty decent. I mean, we're just setting it up because we want to just get the connections going. We want to just get everything plugged in, make sure stuff's gonna work, turn on, all that fun stuff. I mean, even stuff like our cube that we're gonna be adding in for the AIO, I'm leaving it off to the side for now, but one thing to consider, and I know you guys saw me do this, was that I took out the SATA power. Now, I'm gonna need my SATA power for my cube. So it depends on what your AIO, what cooling solution, whatever you're gonna do. Might need some additional cables, but one of the nice things is that bad boy plugs right down here on the bottom. It's literally gonna be easy peasy to connect this thing up. So I'm just gonna opt to leave that out for now. Same with my screen, because I don't want my screen to get, you know, I don't want an unfortunate bang, crack. I don't want to drop it, scratch it, you know, with the screwdriver, you know what I mean? Just, I mean, I work for a motherboard company. I saw some very interesting standoffs in my time and couldn't believe what people went through. Did you know how like a standoff, you know, for your motherboard, and it has the little solder, the little solder points on it? Those things were just, it looked like somebody took a die grinder to that thing. And you're just like, bro, what did you do? Was the standoff in the back just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning? You know what I mean? Like, what was going on, bro? And then the best part is they're like, well, I want a motherboard back that has those pristine. I don't want to make it look like somebody else used it. Good times. Good times with people being so picky about certain things that more or less don't matter. You know what I mean? I get it. If you ground it down and you start seeing the copper exposed, that's one thing, right? But like, oh man, don't use tools, power tools, electric tools, whatever tool. Use hand tools when tightening and installing stuff. I got no problem with using a drill to remove and, you know, just break down the system, no problem. But certain things, and I mean, you know, you don't want to Gorilla Grip them either. You know, we've talked about that with O-rings and hard tubing for years, you know? So don't think that it has to be, I mean, my motherboard could have one screw and it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Right there in the middle, just bam, it's gonna work. You might want to put a couple more in, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think we need to apply Loctite to said screws. I mean, bro, I've seen people super glue RAM into the slots, amongst other things. But that one was definitely a weird one. That one was definitely a weird one, because we were like, well, what do we do? What do we do? Okay, so we got this. We got my two cables. We've gone ahead. We got two nice convenient spots up here for our AIO to mount. 24 EPS plugged in. We got our SATA power for our Mine Cube.
Today, a man with a stutter was convicted and sent to prison for life. His victims are worried he won't finish his sentence.
Yep. You never know. You never know in need of temperance. You never know. And you know, the funny part is, would he even be able to tell what he wants for his last meal? But I guess he's going to life, right? He's not on death row. Okay. Enough about that. Let's get the rest of our parts together. Oh, and I want to check Waffle timer. Waffle timer. Sorry. But what? My waffle. What happened to my wait? F5. Okay, that scared me. All right. New UI for the Waffle giveaway. I mean, settings are still all the same, but it's definitely a new timer. About 18 minutes. 18 minutes left on the Waffle. Answer is Waffle, so no need to say. It can, this is the View 390. It can support up to 200 mil fans. Basically, it's a 180 spacing for that. I mean, most 200 fans mount in a 180 mil spacing, but these are two 200 fans. You can also put in 140s or 180s. It's got the slots for it the same, but it's a very unique case because we don't do too many that offer like a 200 mil option, especially in the front. So just to clarify the question, but yeah. Thanks for asking. Okay, so I need some thermal paste. and then we're gonna go and we're gonna mount this in here. I think most of this stuff on the back is pretty good to go. Let's lay this bad boy down. Oh man, it's definitely heavier than it was when we first started this build, as always. We'll get this all lined up here so you guys can check it out. And get our pastage going on. We paste it up. Little hump day paste. Yeah. There we go. We're remounting now. This right here, this is our Minecube AIO, but it kind of installs like a lot of them do. It's just got some extra stuff because it's got a giant cube that mounts on it. But let me get some paste real quick. Okie dokie. Got a new bag of shop towels here. We got to open up our new bag of shop towels. Middle of the week. Waffles in my face.
That's what I seek. Mike, it's hump day now.
Oh yeah, it's hump day.
Gotta get through. Don't ask me how.
Let's clean the surface. Have you ever, dude, if you haven't used this in a spray bottle, holy crap, this is way better than just doing the pour it on the cap and make a little drip drop. A spray bottle has just changed my life.
Feels so good, you know the deal. Push on through, halfway done. Waffles here, let's have some fun. Hump day waffles, sweet and cold.
Nice and good. Nice and good. Good and nice.
Hump day waffles, no doubt.
Little spritzer right here too. Clean this bad boy up. We want to get all the impurities off because we need ultimate cooling performance. There we go. Oh my God, it's brand new. Oh, it's brand new. There we go. At least we got all the excess stuff. I mean, to be fair, it was pretty clean. It was pretty clean. And I usually just dry rub it. You know, just like my ribs. Just get a little dry rub. I think the only thing that's funny is I just want to make sure I don't take off the little worded so I know what CPU this is, because it is an Intel Confidential. Uh-oh. Well, that's it for that tube. Tapped out. Gotta get more. I thought there would be enough. I honestly thought there'd be enough.
Camel struts on city streets. Not a gloomy sight to greet. Hump day here and life's a breeze. Craving waffles if you please. Swing around the corner now.
I got some experimental thermal paste here. I think this doesn't have a logo on it, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, dude, it's got like one of those little seal things on it. I got some. I got this. This is a new paste, little tester. I got a couple of these. I need to get some time to kind of go over this stuff. But it's not like this is like some new stuff that we're working on. So you know, I'm not gonna say it's like groundbreaking, but I haven't gotten to use it yet. So we're gonna use it. Plenty. That's probably too much, but whatever. Whatever. It'll work. It will work. X kind of marks the spot. Paste that guy. That's right, Tom. That's right. So, question. What do you do with all the computers you put together on stream? Well, you know, a lot of times we repurpose. This AIO is the same AIO I've used in previous builds, like the Vision 330. I've used this motherboard several times on a lot of stuff. So a lot of times it's just repurposing, but I think the big question is, what do I do with all the cases, right? All the cases that we have. So we do go through, you know, marketing samples and a lot of stuff. Like, you know, we will finish a build up like this, and then this particular build will then turn into like something we'll use for video or some type of social media content. You know, we'll utilize that, take some nice little pictures with it. And then, like I was saying earlier, with like all the nice cable management that I would do, I got to then just rip this out of here so we can put it in the next one. So that's the only kind of downside to my job, is I have to tear apart things I put together. It's sad. It's sad. The disassembling. The don't disassemble. Now, I should have done a little test fit to kind of show the different ways to go with this, as far as like what you would want to do, because you have to consider this is going to have a giant screen. It's going to not just have a giant screen. It's going to have 4 giant screens that are going to attach over the top. So your tube knowledge and what's going on with your tubes, as well as like, say, for example, the giant graphic card that's going to go there, you know, all that kind of stuff. You got some different like orientations, because like I think we were talking like, if we go this way, it's cool, this would work, but if you got the nice little 6-inch screen in here, this thing's going to definitely block your view. So we're going to take this and let's switch it around over. Let's see what this looks like. And I love how these are rotary, where I can adjust these one way or the other, depending on the orientation. And then, like, you know, with this, I'm not too keen on the way the tubes are going, like with that. Plus, it's literally blocking the screen again. So that's on this side, right? If we go down here with the tubes down on this side like this, I mean, yeah, oh my God, wires. Come on, wires. Something like this works pretty good. I mean, you're gonna get a nice front view of this. One thing to consider too is that the way this mounts on, it really kind of depends a lot on the case. I mean, with this particular case, it's a top to bottom type of glass versus like a front and side type of glass, right? Because we're all used to just glass here, glass all up here on the front and everything. Not necessarily glass on the top tearing over the side with a nice little bend in it, right? So in an angle of something like this, it gives me a nice full view of my cube. It definitely does not obstruct my 6-inch screen, because I paid good money for this. And then it kind of fits everything in here, because this isn't going to be like an open, you know, window like a lot of cases are going to have here on the front. So let's just go this way. Like to give it a little smoosh on it, and then we'll grab the screws. Sorry for my reachage. There we go. Waffle's coming up, you guys. Less than 10 minutes on the waffle. You better be here or be a pancake. Only waffles allowed. Take them apart off stream. Dude, you know, it might be something that I could consider too. If we did like more streams, I would say that would definitely have been something fun to do. I've actually been debating on like doing a live stream of cleaning my orange PC that desperately needs a cleaning. But we're talking full water block breakdown, full everything. And I don't know how many streams that would fit into, you know what I'm saying? Now, for screws like this, I hand tightened the screws on here. I mean, this of course is still adjustable. I'm just kind of using the convenience of that so I can get to said screw. But this is something you can use a tool, even though I still wouldn't recommend it. But these don't have a torque. These come and just, they bottom out, or they go as far as they're gonna go. So you don't have to worry about particular torque settings or anything. I would suggest to spread it out like I'm kind of doing here. But I do like to get a little bit of a grab on it, just so that way nothing's shifting or whatnot and everything. I also like to apply a little bit of pressure, you know, give the little smush on there, spread that paste out over my IHS on the CPU and everything. And then, yeah, these things are going to bottom out and you're going to be good to go. You don't need to worry too much. There's no torquing or any crazy stuff like that involved. So that's always nice. That used to be a thing. I'm kind of glad it's not anymore. And then we'll just kind of like tuck this down. I can't see anything that I'm doing, so I'm just doing this blindfolded, but you know, we want to kind of sneak these around. Actually, we'll sneak it right under the tube there. Oh yeah, right under the tube. Right between the memories. And then we got a little sneaky spot right here, kind of run these guys in the back. And again, this is why I wanted to save these 2 spots on the top. Makes it easy. Makes it easy, you know? Planning. It's all about plan. Oh, I didn't get a good spin on this one. It's gonna fly away. My 200 mil fans are gonna make my PC levitate. Make my PC levitate. Wow, is it getting warm in here? Hold on. Oh, the RPMs. We need to increase the RPMs. Oh, we got a nice little fan over here. Man, it is a lifesaver during the summer times, bro. You guys have no idea. Oh, yeah. About 6 minutes left on that waffle. I see you guys are still waffling. Waffle up. Waffle up. You're going to run out. 100 degrees right now? I bet, dude. Like, what is it? Let me see. What does it say? What does it say right now? Oh, it's 96 here right now. Today's high is 98. And yes, that's Fahrenheit. I have no problem with CPUs in Celsius. Actually, I prefer it. It makes more technical sense. Hey, I didn't do too bad with a little wrap job there. And then, yeah, I got my 2 PWMs, one for the pump and one for the cool little fan on there. Box really likes this fan on this box. He told me he was a big fan of boxes, so I said, well, here's a fan with a box. He likes it. Says it's really cool. Says it's really cool. But yeah, it makes it real simple, easy. I got the convenience spots right there on the top. Just plug those bad boys in. Good to go. Good to go. And you know, for anyone that's looking to also grab like the Mind Cube and everything, you know, another nice little thing to just kind of check, because this thing literally just pops on and you got your 2 connections to plug in, right? So we can plug our connections in for this and we can install this on here. But one thing that I do like to do, especially with my first initial boots, is I'm gonna leave the screen off for now, because I wanna make sure that little fan right there is spinning and everything's connected up good. Because if I have my cube on there, I'm not gonna be able to see it. I mean, yeah, you might be able to go in and go give it a little listen to see if you can hear it and everything, but I'm a visual type of person, so you know, it's not gonna make or break that I don't have the cube hooked up on first boot. You know what I mean? So should be good there with that. I can't find the cable for the screen, so the screen's just not gonna be plugged in right now, so I apologize for that. I'm not gonna spend more time looking for it. I think you guys all know what a screen does. And I'm pretty sure I still have the OS on here from the last build, so hopefully everything boots up okay and we're not just stuck in a DOS prompt, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it won't even boot up at all. Maybe, maybe not. But that's to worry about after our waffle. Coming up here soon. Now let's see. Fans plugged in. These fans plugged in. Yep, we got the connector right here. Oh, I bumped this little bumper thing to pop back on here. I kind of like how these new fans have these little covers for the screws and everything. I think the only thing that I want is you know, having, what is it that I want? I don't even know what I want. No, like what you have to make sure that you fully seat the screw in there, or it can kind of get stuck on the little bump. And like there was maybe a couple, not too many, like one or two that I was like, oh, and then I had to just tighten a little bit more, and then it went nice and flat. So if you're ever playing around with those things and have these little issues with these little squares or whatnot, there's like a little cap for where the screw goes, and you know, you don't want to over tighten stuff. Like I said, don't take a drill to it, for God's sake. But you know, you want to make sure you get it nice and flat so that goes back on there, you know, and everything looks nice and clean. So literally, system all put together minus the graphics card. We just got the Gen 5 cables, the only cable more or less hanging out here in the front. Now, again, with the case, you can do a couple of different ways with the GPU. You do have options for riser cable, which is sold separately, of course. I mean, we don't want to incorporate. Granted, the nice thing is the new the PCI Gen 4, because we have Gen 4, we don't have Gen 5 just yet. Granted, I haven't really seen a big difference with 4 versus 5 on PCIe brackets or riser cables in regards to just performance, either benchmark or gameplay. But you still have the ability, like later on, if I want to take this and go one way or the other. The nice thing is this bracket is exterior or on the outside of the case. It won't interfere with the rest of your components. You, of course, will have a nice little bracket mount. I don't know if you guys can kind of see the different holes that are right here, but that's to adjust for the thickness of said graphics card that you could have, so that you have different mounting points for the riser cable, and then that would mount right here over the top of the fan versus having to remove the fan, which I really like, and then being able to run a riser cable and running the card vertically in the system. And because we got the Waffle coming up pretty dang quick, I'm not gonna go too in depth on details with this because I already lost some of the screws. Did I really? What the screws? Oh, it's one of those waffle days, you guys. It's one of those waffle days. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm putting the bracket back in vertically. Let's change that. We're gonna go back into non-vertical mode. Activate. Yeah, no, I really like how you got the options to go either way with it. This is probably the best one to do first. That way it'll kind of hold the thing on there, you know what I mean? Aha. Oh. Get those waffles in, last minute wafflers. Couple minutes. A couple minutes and you're gonna miss it. Don't miss the waffle. Oh, closed. Wow. Crafty Grandma coming in with the last minute waffle. Let's go. Crafty Grandma, I believe, won a waffle before too. Hey, Kay Collingham coming in with that 35 stream streak. Wow. Thanks, dude. Much love. Streaking the streams. I appreciate it. I do. Okay. So basically everything's pretty much set. All we really got to do now is slap in this bad boy. And you know, one of the things I do like about the View 390 is that it has a ton of waffles. No, I'm just kidding. It has a ton of space for your graphics card. I mean, even with something as big as this one, I mean, this is a Zotac 5090. I mean, it's literally about the same size as the AIO that we're using to cool the CPU. And you know, it'd be kind of a cool idea if we could put the graphics card over there, you know what I mean? And I could see that being like, you know, a cool little idea with it. But we're not going to be doing that today because it's not directly supported, you know, with the case. Bounty Hits coming in with the 10 stream streak. Thank you so much. But I mean, here's the thing that matters, right? I'm going to put this in here. Look at the extra space that I have. And thanks to the AIO and how it's recessed going back into the case where you got this nice little 45 right here for the grommets and stuff, it just makes it so that way even some thicker AIOs with the thicker fans is really not going to interfere with even the longest graphic cards that you could imagine putting into something like this. You know what I mean? So, quick little mock-up again. kind of see where we're at. I think most of us know we don't touch the top slot, but it's 2 and 3 as far as what we're going to be taking out on the back bracket right here. But let's just pop these guys out just for a quick little second. So I got this ready to go. We're going to dive into some waffles. We're going to dive into some waffles. How are the PCIe latches on that Mobo? I had some difficulties removing a GPU recently from an Asus board that I had the latch style. And you know, I think that really became a problem when these got thicker, because a lot of these, you know, with where like the latch goes, you know, for these kind of things. I mean, granted, nowadays motherboard companies caught on and they have like a little button over off to the side, and all that button does is it slides the retention clip back so you can pull the graphics card in and out. Now, even for like this particular board, like with this Project Zero from MSI, it's a 7 series, it's a 790 board. I have more or less seen this, you know, I would say fairly recently, especially more on the high end side of things, but it's literally right here, right in the way. And yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get my finger in right here to push down on that to pull this thing out. I'm gonna just be stabbing at it with a screwdriver, because why not? No, I'm kidding. I would never do that, but it is definitely a problem. And I like how with other motherboard companies where they've started adding in these little switches and little things and everything like that, because it can definitely be a problem. 100% can definitely be a problem. That is a 3-slot video card. Well, I mean, it's maybe a little bit more, but I'll tell you, this is, because this is what, this is a 5080? This is 4080. Wait. Where is it? No. 5080. So this is one 5080. But I have seen 5080s that are literally, well, I guess they claim them as 3.75, but they're literally a 4-slot card. And that's even worse. And I can't believe how thick some of those got. The 5090s on some of those are big, big coolers, my friends. Very, very big coolers. Holy wowzers, they're big coolers, man. Ugh. Easy to break GPU switch. You know, and the funny part is that I broke that switch off a while ago. I broke that switch off a while ago, and you know, if you can pop them off, you can pop them off and snap them back on, unless you really do break them. You know what I mean? But like for that one, I've used that motherboard in probably like 7 different builds now, a good amount of builds. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no point on getting a new motherboard for every build. You know what I mean? Why would I do that? You know what I mean? But you know, I like different things, you know, if it's like the color or like, you know, kind of goes with the style, the backwards connectivity support, because I don't think that's something a lot of people see. Like, do something a little different, you know, do something a little different. But yeah, no, you just can't remove the graphics card. The dang thing gets stuck in there, and it's frustrating, especially with how big the GPU is, how much it costs. You don't want to damage anything, and you can't even get your finger in there. I mean, best case scenario, I would say, find like a freaking paint stick from Home Depot. Find something like wood. Don't use metal. Don't use a screwdriver. You know what I mean? Take your time. You know, don't break stuff. Don't freak out. So long, the rest of your PCIe slots. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If I can't play the Oregon Trail at a solid 144, then I don't want it. If I can't get Dysentery with 144 FPSs, no thank you, sir. Chopsticks. Hey, Chopsticks is definitely a solid recommendation. Solid recommendation. Even the ones that are stuck together, you just break one off, save one for later. Throw that in the toolbox. Like, have just a cheap pair of chopsticks in the toolbox, man. Things go a long way. Other than that, you get those little Home Depot paint sticks, you know, snap it in half. That kind of works too. But usually I don't even have enough patience for that. You know what I'm saying? I like the chopsticks idea a lot better. But don't use those metal ones, though. Don't use metal. Wood ones are good. A toothpick? You call that, that's a toothpick? Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of leverage. The last thing you want is splinters, though, trying to take that out. Or you just impale your finger trying to save your graphics card. You know, things like that.
Hey, you like waffles too?
Beantown, good to see you, my friend. Appreciate the sub. Thank you much.
TV.
How you been? All right, let me get set up here. Let me get into waffle mode. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for some waffles? Are we ready for some waffles? Are we ready for some waffles? All right. Hold on. DMCA activated. DMCA activated. Waffle time, Bean. I'm sorry I missed the waffle, Bean. I can't go back now. I can't go back now. It's too late. It's too late, my friend. It's too late. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go.
I am so ready. I have some of that Kanda smoke. Lol.
Well, you smoking some ribs over there, Green Garage? No, man, I'm sorry, dog. Hope everything's good. Calling rigged already. That's our mods. Spin? What? I haven't even spun it yet. You want me to spin it? Here, I'll spin it for you. Here's a dry run. You asked for it, you get it. Ooh, powerful. Powerful. I forgot to enter myself, so it is what it is. Oh, well, there's more for you guys. All right. Rigged for ThermalMike? No. No. No, it's not rigged. All right. All right, dude. Let's get it going. Who's going to be a winner chicken dinner number 1? Chicken and waffles, baby. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. HNK Darkness. HNK Darkness over on the YouTubes. Congratulations. Are you there? Are you there? Yeah, they're there.
Nice.
Hey, found the right button. Let's go. All right, HNK Dark. Let's go, Darkness. All right, here we go. I am ready to spin it. You say spin it, you're gonna win it, my friend. Good luck to ya. Fingers on the trigger. Say when. Say when. Do it. Do it. Say it. Say it now. I'll press the button. Say it right now. I'll press the button. Press the button. Please tell me. YouTube rigged? No, it's not. No, it's not. HNK, do what he says. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Come on, baby. Big win. Big win. Big win. Oh, back to back. No, I'm just kidding. The nice dude. Hey, scoring yourself a powerful prize there with some power supplies. Feel free to take a look at thermaltakeusa.com. Take a look at our power supply section. 1050 watts and under. If it's in stock, it is yours, my friend. Congratulations. Thank you for waffling with us. Much appreciated. All right. One more. One more spinny. Don't forget to drop into the Discord. There is a Discord link. Thank you, Box over on YouTube. Mr. 3234. 3234. By the power of Waffle Skull. I like that. I have the waffle. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. OG Jabaro over on Twitch. Congratulations. We got 1E1s, 1 Twitch, 1 YouTube. Congratulations, OG. Woot, let's go. Oh, dude, why did you press the wrong button? Congratulations. Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel. Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's see. What? Power, back-to-back power. It's right on the line. It's right on the line. But it says power down below. Congratulations on winning your choice of a powerful power supply by us here at Thermaltake. Congratulations. Right on the, dude, like, if it didn't say power at the bottom there, I don't know. Powerful fans, right? It's a combo. Like, it landed on the line. He gets both prizes. It landed on the line. He gets both prizes, Mike. Power hour is engaged. Thank you, Green Garage. I appreciate that. Let's go. Congrats, you guys. Nice little dude. Nice little stuff. Like, you know, if you win a waffle with us, hold on. Let me switch up some music here. All right, so if you win a waffle, you'll want to go over here, and you know, depending on what you win, for example, we got some powerful prizes today. You can take a look at our power supply section. I'm using the Dark Reader Chrome extension, by the way, so it's not as blinding, even though all the images do this. I'm gonna actually talk to the web page person about this. I think it's kind of interesting to see if we can, but in a way, I do kind of like how clean it looks in a way too. But you can go right here. There's a lot of filter options here on the side. You don't necessarily want to go with 1,000 watts and above, because that's only going to show like the 1050s and everything. But what I would suggest is at least sorting by like ATX 3.1. And then if you sort by ATX 3.1, this will give you all the different wattages. Of course, we can't offer the 1650. I wish I could, but that's a lot of power. That's also $550 worth of power. But we have 850s, 750s. I'd highly recommend taking a look at the 1,000 watt. We have a platinum 1,000 watt tough power right here. That's $180 power supply, guys. We have in both snow or standard, so we do got some color options there too. And I think there's also some other ones that are in here. I mean, besides like some 850s and stuff, and some of like the lower ends, even SFXs. You know, I'm really surprised a lot of people have picked SFX power supplies, but I can completely understand why. Like our winner last week, getting some power for some birthday action going on, you know what I mean? But take a look at the 3.1s. You can take a look at the 3.0s. Up to 1,050, because we do make certain models that are 1,050 watts. So I don't want to say 1,000 and under, but basically 1,000 watts and under. Get yourself a good 850 watt or 1,000 watt power supply. Slap that bad boy in there. It's got the latest ATX 3.1, 5.1 with all the stuff. It's got the Gen 5 cable. It's got PCIe if you got AMD as well, or whatever you're rocking with. It'll support you both ways. And then all I usually ask, and I don't do this too often, but all I usually ask is, like, say you come down here and you're like, oh, all right, I like this one. So I'm going to click on this particular power supply. I'm going to look, make sure it's in stock. It shows right here, add to cart. It's in stock. This is the one that you want. You're going to want to copy this link, and don't send it to me on Discord. But when I send you the Discord message after verifying your meat popsicleness, then I'll send you the info. We have a secured email. Shoot me an email. Give me all your details, name, shipping, and all that stuff. And then just drop this link in the email portion so I know that you want this power supply in this color. Because if I change the color or change the wattage, it's going to change the link, and it just makes it easier for both. All right? Congrats again, you guys. $180 power supply, 10-year warranty, Gen 5 connector, all that fun stuff. Even this one being platinum. What a waffle that could be. You know what I'm saying? Powerful waffle. We got some powerful waffles here on the Thermaltakes. We got a powerful waffle on the Thermaltakes. But again, congratulations, you guys. As always, fun little Waffle Wednesday, baby. Let's go. Always love to give back. Appreciate you guys so much. Ugh. And like I said, we got something fun lined up for next week, as we should be wrapping up our View 390 build here today. And I hope you guys like it. It's going to be fun. I can't talk about it just yet, but I'll definitely have some info for you guys. So stay tuned for that. And I'm definitely glad you guys love the waffles that we give out. I think it's, you know, like, not just how much as far as like value wise goes. I think one of the biggest things that I pulled for you guys was the ability to make it your prize your way. And we've been doing that for 5 freaking years now. It's crazy. Because like, if you win a fan pack, maybe it's the wrong size. It's a 140 or a 120. Maybe it's black fan. Maybe it's a white fan. Maybe it's a hydrangea blue fan. It may or may not work for everybody. So being able to allow you to pick and choose your prize, I think is the biggest thing we've ever done here in regards to giving back on our live stream. Because how can you argue with choose your own? It's your choice. When you get your 58, what's a 58? I'm old and not cool anymore. When I get my 5.8, I'm going to check y'all's website out for a power supply. I think the Tough Power Grand fancy RGB can't remember. Oh, do any TDPSUs have the USB connector so hardware info can read the wattage? Yeah, yes, we have. We have a new one that is coming out. One sec. Because I think when you're looking, so first and foremost, you're going to be looking for a digital power supply. So if it's a digital power supply, like for example, I'm just going to use this one because it's convenient right here. But we have the Tough Power I 1650 watt. And for this one right here, this one does have a USB connector. It syncs up. We utilize HW info, and it's all integrated into our TT RGB 3.0 software. So if you have the power supply and you have this connected, it will recognize and pop up on your 3.0 software. If you don't have it connected, it's not going to show up. It's not an extra software or a different app. It's just, it'll show up when it's connected or it won't if it's not. And same kind of goes for all the fans and all the other stuff. It's kind of like, you know, how we've been doing it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You gotta. But yeah, we've done a couple. We haven't done a lot. I'm trying to think, is there a way to, I don't know if you can sort. Yeah. There's actually, you can go in here and you can sort power by digital. But right now, the only thing we have in stock is going to be this one, because stuff that we have out of stock is likely not going to show up on the website, and or stuff that's EOL or end of life. So those kind of things. So we've had a lot of digital power supplies, but they're gone. They're old, you know, especially with all the changes with ATX 3.0, now 3.1, you know what I mean? But we got this 1650. There's some other ones that we showed at Computex that are in the works, but you know, I'm going to say it might be a little slow for them to come out. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't buy RAM anyways. So why rush a power supply? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I get out of work at 4:30 and have like 50 minutes to commute. Miss you guys, man. Oh, miss you too, Bar. Or good. Are we a part of the drive home or the drive there? No, good luck with the work, man. Happy hump day too. Happy hump of days. Happy hump of days. No, I hope it's kind of fun to just, you know, have something to listen to in the car, or I hope you're not watching me in the car, to be fair. Be safe, you know what I mean? But I know that's possible. It's definitely possible. But you know, all my second screeners and all you guys that are working hard today, it's hump day, baby. We're halfway through that week. Oh, he misses me. Yeah, right. Yeah, you wish. Why are some products released in other markets first, like Australia? Good question. Certain products that we would have are region specific. Other products that they do, like Australia, to just kind of throw out an odd one. Australia has a particular keyboard that's only in Australia. We had it at Computex, and it was there on display for demos, but wasn't a particular focus item because we don't have it here in the US. and it's not considered a global product. Same thing goes for other countries like China, Thailand, and a lot of other places, EU. You know, they will have different stuff than we will. That's why we have regional websites. So we have a Thermaltake USA site. We have our HQ or our global site. The global site, or thermaltake.com, is going to have more or less everything. But it's going to exclude certain country specific stuff. Because, I mean, dude, when you talk about like power supplies, you know, they have an exclusive power supply in the US that they don't sell in Brazil or Argentina for that matter. They'll have a specific Argentinian power supply, you know, that has a different power connector based on the connection requirements around the world. Same thing with like Europe, right? Europe's going to get a different unit. They have a different certifications and all those other kind of things, right? So certain stuff I would say is country limitation or specifics. But then, to be fair, there's certain things that we just don't take in because it doesn't fit the U.S. market, or we're in a direction to go one way or the other, right? We don't necessarily have to choose everything, but we usually do take a variety or the majority of some stuff. There are some niche products though that are out there, but it's a good question though, because it's really interesting when you look at like the global differences between like the U.S. site versus like, you know, other parts of the world and their websites, you know, and I mean, I think a lot of it really kind of comes down to, you know, language, right? I mean, we are English speaking, you know, you'll also see similar things in like Europe, for example, but not everywhere in Europe. They got multiple languages over there. Australia is another example of Europe. And, you know, Australia works pretty close with a lot of our Taiwan team because, hey, time zone difference. I mean, you know, I always joke about how I have like a second shift where, you know, usually, you know, I work till about 5:30, and then, you know, I get home, have dinner, hang out with the fam, and then maybe like 9 or 10 o'clock, you know, I'll have a chat with Taiwan about something because it's literally right after their lunch break. And that usually works pretty good for both sides of us, right? But, you know, it's to try to not have to do the whole send an email, wait a day, send an email, wait a day, send an email, wait a day. I mean, those things can definitely slow things down. Let me tell you, you know. But it's interesting, though. It's interesting. I'm still salty that the TT Sync V2 isn't in the US. It's fine. I get it. I don't think you want that product. I don't think that product's going to do what you're thinking it's going to do. I really, really don't. Good. So I'm...
Mike, any suggestions on mic noise suppression when streaming? Does TT sell streamer gear yet?
Well, we had the microphone, and that does have some stuff, but I'll tell you, like, especially, you know, as I had to figure out audio for live streams and everything, right? I will tell you that, you know, balancing your audio is one thing, but you have to, a lot of the settings and everything doesn't come from my microphone. My settings come from my software. And you know, you have your microphone software, and then you have your OBS software, and your OBS levels can vary and be different from your microphone stuff. So a lot of that stuff is controlled through software with it. I mean, NVIDIA, for example, I use their green screen, but I don't use their audio. I don't use because what is it? They have the audio suppression. They have the visual background. And you know, I forgot the other thing, but I only use the green screen stuff because I do my own audio my way. So I turn all that off, you know, and I don't use that noise suppression. Discord's another really good example. You got that buddy that has a crazy loud keyboard, and for whatever reason, his microphone is down here by said keyboard, just going. Or you got that famous gamer friend of yours that has to have that fan. And that fan is literally right here. And when he's sitting there talking to you, the fan is blowing and all you hear is the fan in the background. Dude, I'll tell you, I had a really good friend that I used to, back in the day, I used to do MMOs and we'd do raids and all that kind of stuff, right? And I had a really good friend who had a cat. And his cat loved it. I love animals. He loves his animals. He loved his cat. And his cat would hang out with him the whole time while he was gaming. Problem is, said cat was literally right in front, and we could, I mean, it's like you could hear the cat just meowing when we're on Discord, you know what I mean? But Discord has some really nice options there. And I think for a lot of people, especially some people that I've talked to about it, Test it yourself. Do a Discord call or a test call and adjust that. You know, do the, I mean, you know, like you can pick it up here, but then if I'm over, you can adjust it how you want to adjust it, right? And those kind of things are stuff you just got to kind of play around with. Took me several weeks, man. Took me several weeks. Laugh out loud, gotta love blue switches. Absolutely. Blue switches are the single man keyboard by far. But, you know, I think a lot of people have been switching it up, you know, to a lot of other switches nowadays where cherry used to be king. And I think a lot of that stuff's changed. You know what I mean? Yeah, my keyboard and fans are way too loud. But, you know, if it's loud on that, just adjust your suppression on it, because you got to understand, I mean, if you're using a headset mic or like like something like this, it's all about the sensitivity of it. And you can, don't just do the auto thing and just and be lazy about it. Do the manual way and adjust that little slider bar. You know what I mean? Like literally type on your keyboard, but don't talk, and see if it picks up. Adjust the slider until it doesn't pick up. And then once you get a common ground on fan noise and keyboard suppression, at least you're only going to have that in the background when you're talking. But there's some other things too, directional mic, you know, other things like that. I mean, you know, not everybody has to go out and spend this kind of money on this equipment. You know what I mean? But I would say I got to give it to Shure. It's an amazing microphone. I've had this microphone for over 5 years. I've done tons of just streams, video content, voiceover stuff with this, and it's just awesome. No matter how loud I get, no matter how quiet I get, I can still get some pretty good. I know like the differences like on stream are definitely different than the way I do recordings and video. So a lot of that stuff is different too, from streaming to stuff like that. But if it's something like with streaming, like if you're really into, you like say you want to get into it and you want to kind of test some stuff, but you don't want to just necessarily go live and do the testing. There's some test streams that you can do where it's like you're actually live, but not really live. You know what I mean? It's like a back end testing environment that allows you to just kind of run everything and make sure everything kind of works. And it's a good thing to kind of play around with, other than just doing, I mean, I don't know how many times I would just click record and go test, Waffle 1, Waffle 2, and then I'll stop, and then I'll go back and I'll play the video and see how everything sounds. You know what I mean? Because like for this, like with Discord, like my mic is 100%. I control all that through here and through the slider bar over there that I have for my sound mixer, you know? Yeah, it's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, kind of play around with it, but the days of like, you know, the clackety keyboards, or like just the fan that's literally right here, and you know, you and all the boys got to deal with said fan. Priceless, man. Those days were priceless. It was almost like, no, don't take the fan out, because I can't just sit there and grill you about it. You know, I want to sit there and tell you how much I love your fan. If you take the fan away, you take the fun away. You know what I mean? But I've helped a lot of friends, especially with the Discord stuff, because they just don't understand. And, you know, God help them that they would test it themselves, and they're probably watching and they're probably going, that son of a... God help them if they tested it themselves and figured it out, you know, versus hold my hand, hold my hand. ThermalMike is here to hold your hand. No problem. No problem. Yeah, it can definitely get annoying. You know what I mean? I get all that. So we got all our fans plugged in. We got everything all hooked up in the back, you know, for the most part. I mean, we'll double check all of our connections, but for the front side of the case, I mean, we have our bracket installed, all of our fans, our AIO is now mounted. We made sure we included thermal paste. We made sure we removed the sticker if said sticker was still there. The smoke detector's going off. Oh God, is it really that hot over there, Witness? Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Professor Dabs, I'm sorry you missed the waffle this week, whatever you want to call it. I gave an extra webcam pointed at my PC in the top left corner of stream to show off the TT stuff. Nice, nice. Make sure webcam volume is muted. That's always a fun one to find out later. Elgato's been cooking lately with their mic and software combo. Yeah, they got some really good stuff. They got some really good stuff. I'm not too big on a lot of the free mixer software that's out there. It's very convoluted. It's very convoluted. But I think a lot of this stuff is just watch some YouTube videos, man. There's a million of them out there. I would say the only thing that's important is don't watch a video from 5 years ago. That it's more or less irrelevant. You know what I mean? New DLCs come out, gear stats change. It doesn't have 2 strength anymore. It's got 4, and you got to offset your gear set. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, so now we have one of my favorite times, which is installing a graphics card into said system. I always encourage people to do like a little test fit to make sure everything's gonna work. Make sure you got enough slack on the connector, so once the card's in, you're not like pulling on it because you don't want to go back there to get a little bit more. Just do it now. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is pull on this cable of all cables. And of course, you want to make sure you seat it properly into your investment of this nice used car right here. You know what I mean? So keep those things and always double check everything before applying power to stuff. Make sure things are fully seated. I can't preach enough. Once everything's all done, just before I want to do it too. I want to turn it on. I want to get going. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Spend an extra 60 seconds. Just look over everything. Double check that the connections are there before you put the power to stuff like this. DIY is definitely slow right now. And I think that's because a lot of people don't understand how to do all this. And it takes a lot to learn about a lot of these things. And I wish our channel was bigger so more of this stuff could go out there to more people that have probably want to do DIY, but probably just like, man, that's a big learn curve that I'm going to have to go through with all this. Well, who's got this? Who's got that? Who's Thermaltake? Who's these companies? Who makes this? Who makes that? Like, for the people that don't watch Gamers Nexus every week like we do, you know what I mean? Like, you may or may not know what's going on. And that goes for a lot of the other guys, too. I love Paul. I love a lot of the other guys. They do some really cool stuff, keeping us up to date on the memory woes, as well as new stuff. But there hasn't been a lot of new product announcements, right? And for good reason, you know what I mean? It's a slum right now for a lot of us, and we know it. You guys know it. We know it. It is what it is right now. But we'll see how everything goes. We're definitely hanging in there. And we're always trying to find ways to, educate and help people out with their build, if it's Thermaltake or not. You know what I mean? So let's get our card in. Push firmly, but assertive, but careful. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't. Now, you'd get a nice little click if you weren't like me and broke the slot off, or the retention clip. But ideally, with this big honker of a card. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? And you know what? Maybe who brought up that it's a 3-slot card and only took 2 slots out? I think somebody did say that. I don't know why I didn't catch that. See? This is why you test fit. Like, oh yeah, there's a slot in the way. No, there now. See, I was testing you. And yeah, these things aren't getting any smaller. You know what I mean? They got a good amount of weight to them. A lot of our cases have a nice little balancer, little brace back there. Most of these cards now come with the little brace thing on the end. It's that little extension pole thing that you used to have in the shower back in the day. You guys remember those? The little pole extensions, like that first apartment or whatever, and it had that little pole with the caddies, and, you could put your shampoo up and everything. And then all of a sudden one day it just falls and you're like, what happened? Good times. But yeah, make sure your card fully seated. I'd lock it down with at least 1 screw because you don't want the thing flying out of there, you know what I mean? But either way, just kind of give it some support. Make sure it's good. I mean, even for a card this big, I'm not really experiencing GPU sag on this. I mean, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit, but it's not putting that much weight on your PCIe slot that it's going to be more or less a big problem. I think your bigger concern is making sure you fully seat this connection, both in the graphics card as well as back here in the power supply. And I think a lot of times those things could get missed. And of course, the first thing anybody's going to do when they run into a problem is throw it up on Reddit. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about getting sick. And it's interesting to see a lot of these medias out there, gobbling up this unfortunate situation, you know what I mean? But it's definitely a concern. It is definitely a concern. And I have been watching carefully with it. I recently saw somebody that had some experienced issue with a Thermaltake power supply. I've been asking, I've been trying to find one. I was actually kind of surprised I hadn't seen anybody really necessarily have a particular problem, and a lot of times people that have the problem, they don't bother to post online. Who cares, I mean, did we all forget that components can fail any day at any time? I mean, we have buyer's confidence, because certain companies been doing certain things for a while, but look at some of these companies that are you just started making power supplies 6 months ago. I mean, yeah, they're of course going to go for market share. Price is going to be cheap, right? But are you, they just started making power supplies 6 months now. Now they don't make the power supply. Get that? Nobody does. Well, I mean, unless you talk about, those fun companies, and they do all that fun stuff. And I like working with them, and, they do some good stuff. We work with a lot of the big ones that are out there. And, just like with NVIDIA, they started selling their own GPUs too. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. They're like, hey, I want a piece of that too. I want a piece of that too. Trying to overclock a DDR3, and it's so strange. I wish you luck. I wish you luck. I think right now you should probably sell that DDR3. You'll probably get some really, really good, you could probably get some good money for that right now. You know what I mean? Is it true you can get new parts that arrive faulty? Luck of the draw. Well, I mean, you could have something that's going to run for 1 day or 1 decade, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you don't want it. You hope it won't happen. But I think a lot of it has to do with good practices, right? Good stuff. I mean, things like these connectors, it's not going to be a day one scenario most of the time. I mean, a loose connector could be something that you experience like 2 or 3 months down the road. You know what I mean? Like, it might not necessarily be something you experience, the first couple of days. Granted, we always like to say, hey, monitor your stuff before, or not, but before, but like once you get the system built and everything, pay attention to it for at least a couple of weeks. Have your monitoring software there. What's your CPU temp at? What's your GPU temp at? Is it chill? How's it doing idle? How's it doing while it's in game? HW Info is free. It can log the results even if you have a single monitor. There's other stuff out there that offer OSD options so you can see it in real time. It's your investment that you're trying to protect. And if you're not paying attention to a graphics card that's cracking 95C and wondering why, you know what I mean? Or say like the CPU, for example, right? You forgot to take the sticker off. You're in the BIOS and it's 52C idle. And you're like, dude, why is it 52C idle? Like, that makes no sense. And it's increasing. And we've done this as a test to just show you guys these things. It's so crazy. And it's like, I feel for those people, maybe it's their first time building. Do you really want them to have that kind of an experience? You know what I mean? They want to become gamers. They want to maybe do more than just game with it. You know what I'm saying? So double check your work. Double check your work. I always try to. More off stream than on stream, because streams and everything, it's more for the fun and the content. You know what I mean? I do purposely not necessarily always try to make everything fail. But sometimes I try to throw a little wrench in the works that I can control, and that's a challenge. But I've pulled it off a couple of times. A couple of guys like, what, did you plan that? And it was like, maybe. It's just, you'll never know. No, just kidding. So, yeah. Pump and everything's plugged in. Those are always important. We want to make sure that our pump is going to be working once the system turns on. I mean, our fan's not always going to spin on our power supply, so don't worry about that. I think a lot of people were worried about that a few years back when they went to, like, you know, fan off modes versus on all the time. So there's those things to kind of consider and think about with that. I mean, you know, we mounted our motherboard already, so hope everything's good. But did you pay attention when you're installing the screws? Because maybe it wasn't something you did on a weekend, but maybe you installed that motherboard 2 months ago waiting on other parts, right? So take that little bit of extra time before doing that first boot up. Just kind of double check certain things and just make sure everything, you know, hopefully it's just going to fire right up. You know, that's our goal. That's our goal. All right. Now, I mean, I got like these other little covers that I could put on. I mean, of course, we got the Mind Cube to add in, but we're going to check our little fan that's right there. So get my big chonker of a cable here. Dogs begin to smell her. All right. So we haven't turned it on yet, but we've applied power to the system. Now, certain systems are going to give you certain things depending on if the motherboard's got a screen or a light or, like, you know, whatever's going to happen. But there is this little switch right here on the back of the power supply, and that could just be the difference of, like, pushing the power button and just going, oh, nothing and everything. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your power supply, it has a circle and a line on the back. Line means connected, circle means open. So basically you want to make sure it's on the line side for the switch, because those get me sometimes too, and I'm like, you know, why didn't it turn on and everything? Let me get some HDMI action in here too. Wow. Give me a second to set up. Let's say it's a fun case. A lot of room in here. You know, like viewing angle wise, I'll get all the panels put back on. I like to practice what I preach, make sure everything works. I mean, why put the front panel on if I don't know if that fan's going to spin or not, right? I mean, I have confidence it's going to spin, you know what I mean? But there's always the what if, right? So see how everything goes. Remember when it just worked? Now it catches on fire. It's funny how slogans age on the internet. It's definitely funny how slogans age. I definitely had my CPU block fan slightly shifted off and not cool my PC after a year of no issues. Just a user installation error. Had to repaste and set it. What was it? Had to repaste and set it properly. Been fine ever since. It's just, see, it's those things. I mean, it's not just important on paying attention during the install or just the initial boot and everything, but, you know, keep an eye on it. You know what I mean? You're breaking in the motor, right? With like a new car, you're breaking in the motor and everything. You buy a new car, you drive it for a month, you haven't popped the hood once. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to take stuff apart and everything like that, but did you look under there to see if there's a squirrel stuck on something? Not saying it's going to happen. You know what I mean? I've seen raccoons in engine bays. Yeah, anything new, anything like that. I mean, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. And see, like this, a little bit of time. I'm reflecting on my build, what I put together, sitting here racking my brain. I mean, I'm on a live stream. I gotta, you know, I gotta perform for you guys. Did I put it together right? Did I not put it together right? I mean, mice love to ruin stuff, dude, for real. For real. All right, let's do this. Bam, 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 bam. All right, prediction is up. Will it post? Blow all your points. Blow all your points. I'm going to sabotage it if I see too many points applied one way or the other, especially in the nope direction. You guys got 5 minutes, though. You got some tube tokens, use them. Hell yeah, STP, hell yeah. Ooh. Will it post? Well, see, I still have.
Waffle Man! I am the Waffler! Golden crispy! Bad guys are history! Yeah!
Guessed it. For speed. Love the trumpet part there. Holy points! Wow, it's like almost even? How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, we don't need to plug a keyboard in, right? We don't need to plug a keyboard in. And see, even better, if you're streaming builds on Twitch and everything while you're doing your prediction, gives you a couple extra minutes to think about things. I mean, I just want to just put it all back together and everything and call it a day. I mean, ideally, that's where I want to be. Destroy the non-believers. But like I said, you know, get some cable, you know, a little cable management, not a lot. Want to make sure everything's going to work. All in. Ooh, all in. Oh my goodness. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Oh, this is fun. Someone's gonna win and someone's gonna lose. It's not like a one way or the other, guys. Just having some fun. Fake gambling per se. Fake. Just like if we had the Twitch stream right now, the little AI summary report, it'd be like, oh, Thermaltake Live is gambling right now with your points, depending on if he did a good job or not. Like, dude, I'm just like, well, what would the AI summary say right now? You know what I mean? Oh, Alpha's calling it. I call. Gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. No waffle right now. No, there's no. The waffle is waffled. And half of yous are gonna be sad. I know, right? It's fun. I mean, I did not. In pirate terms, I just said post. That doesn't mean if it explodes shortly after, that's still a win. That's still a W. That's still a W. Oh, wow. Good. Did good just go in right now? Because always just jumped to 200,000. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Is it over? All right. 5 seconds. 69% of you, 60% of the time you said it's going to work. I like that. 60% of the time. 60% of the time. Let's go.
Wow.
Goodbye, PC. It was nice to know you. All right. Submissions are closed. Where to go? All right. All right, here we go. We're gonna go. We'll go big screen. IRL first, and then we'll switch over and see. The capture card should pick it up, but you know what I mean. We'll see how everything goes. See how everything goes. Lock in. Lock in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have the switch on. Front panel. Oh, it was loose. The front panel was loose. Wow, what an idea. Maybe if I didn't tie all my zip ties in and everything, it'd be so much easier to check something as simple as my front panel connector, because that could be the whole reason why it turns on or not. Whoa. Sorry, I had to. There's my little... Dude, I can't. Illuminate. There we go. Where's the dead pin? Okay, it's on the top. I was just like, is the dead pin on the top or the bottom? There we go. It's proving a point. It's proving a point. Oh, look. Look how pretty it is. Look how pretty. Oh, the bottom fans. The bottom fan connector. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, whoa, we switch. Whoa! Whoa! It just crashed. No, just kidding. It didn't crash. It posted. I think I went too slow, though. Hey! There we go. That's right. Always. Always, chat. Oh, baby. Let's go. Choose the outcome. Always, chat. Always. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's looking good. That's looking good.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Oh. I forgot the front panel has 2 screws. My face is numb. Dude, turntable, bro. Nah, not part of the post. Yes, now my power level is over 100K. Over 9,000. They'll never get old. They'll never get old. There'll never be a number above it that will matter. I got to show you guys the full package. We're done. Yes, I do see YouTube and Twitch. Actually, both. I do see both. Doesn't it pop your name? Yeah, and it puts your name up there on there too. So I do see both. Did I miss something? If I missed something, I'm sorry. I was having too much fun. How many Lamborghinis do I need to pawn to get that build? That's a lot of Lambos. That's a lot of Lambos. Ooh, that looks, look at that. Look, the green, and then I got like a yellowy green, because if you remember, this was the build from back before with, I think it was like in the Vision, I think, before with that. So that color mode was preset because that was what we more or less left off with.
Yum, 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 glorious tube tokens.
I think, yeah. All right, hold on. We got to get something different. Well, let's see. What's some good ones here for the final? Oh, la, la, la. I need a banger. Let's get a banger out here. Yeah, here we go. Of course, chat. Don't you ever stop. One of my favorite parts of any build. Oh, we were just checking to make sure that the pump spun and everything like that. I can plug the cube in, but I think you guys know what's going on. We're good. What's important is it posted. What's even more important is this right here. How good this feels. Peel off. Finally done. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Stay on there, panel. And this way I don't have to clean the glass. Whoop. Lock them in back here to get some nice airflow on the back here. This is good. There we go. Look at those beefy fans in the front, man. They can make for some good waffles. Don't you dare say pancakes. Builds coming in. So getting everything set up. This is probably one of my favorite parts, is getting that first post, getting to put everything back together, getting everything all in. And just remember, spend a little time. Spend a little time before pressing that button, because sometimes certain things can happen. Loose connection, loose cable, maybe something you swore by that you plugged in and it kind of came loose because something else fiddled with it, like a front panel connector. You know what I mean? Let's see. Yep. Good to go, baby. Good to go. Sing the blues. All right. Now, we got other stuff that we could do. I mean, yeah, we have to go forward now with our Mind Cube. Want to plug that in, make sure all that's working. I want to start checking temperatures right away. I'd go into the BIOS and just kind of make sure that, is it detecting my 2 sticks of overpriced memory? Is it detecting my highly valuable SSD that I just bought? Is my graphics carding? I mean, usually you get there probably first, right? You know what I mean? But just go and check everything. Make sure everything's good with your build. And you can have a nice, solid build. It's going to last you year after year, man. It's crazy. But hey, this is our View 390. It's got some big rims. Very unique view. We have these in a variety of different colors. This being our latest Transformative Teal. I almost forgot the name. Transformative Teal color. We have available in other colors as well. I mean, if you're definitely looking for like a skylight type of PC case, so you can see stuff from the top, the bottom, the sides, you know, it might give you some cool options for that, and plenty of room for even the biggest graphic cards out on the market. You know what I'm saying? Always good stuff. Always good stuff. Is resizable bar turned on? It is. It should be. Hold on, let me double check. Resizable bar should be on. I think I can check settings while I'm live. Hold on. Is it working? Is it working, Pen? Always appreciate feedback, especially when we're live. Let me see. Oh, what's that? Is that under video? No. It's under...
Somebody get him some water, please.
It looks like my new co-anchor may need a glass of water.
Thirsty. I need to reload, man. I drank all my drink. Enhanced broadcasting. Enhanced broadcasting is on. Settings, advanced. Yeah. No. Advanced broadcasting is on. Gatorade.
H2O.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Oh, giving out the hot tips. He meant one more thing to check before you power on. I totally didn't think about it that way. I am sorry. That makes a lot of sense. There's you know, a lot of other options that are in there. I mean, take a look, watch a video if you can about your motherboard. I mean, go look at some graphics settings. Go see what, you know, the big tech guys, you know, they slap up all those graphs for a reason. So we have some type of ballpark to understand when we build something with similar components, we have a ballpark of where we should be around. That's why like Cinebench scores are important, not just doing a stress test to see how hot the damn thing gets, but making sure that you get the performance there as well. And monitoring. Always keep checking your stuff, guys. It's super important, especially early on. You know, usually after a month or so of day in and day out gaming, I mean, you're usually, if you're good, you're good. It's kind of like a car. You know what I mean? You're not going to want to just floor it right out of the dealership. You want to break the motor in nice because you want that motor to last you well. You know, a lot of stuff's changed over the years, but back in the day, that was even a bigger deal. You know what I mean? They'd honestly tell you to not do this, not do that till 5,000 miles, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I remember all this stuff. I don't even know if they even tell the people this stuff today. They probably don't even care about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then, you know, other things to consider too, like, you know, post build, getting everything set up. We get Windows installed, you know, drivers all up, you know, make sure everything's working. You know, go back into your BIOS, you know, not just check what you got setting wise, but certain things like with Intel, you know, you got very important settings in there that could matter. Just updating the BIOS to the latest BIOS could be a big game changer for what you're experiencing. A lot of motherboards brand new out of the box got one of the oldest BIOSes on the market. I mean, it is what it is. We've seen it before, brand new stuff I open up, throw on stream. You know, a couple streams later, you see that thing booting up. And dude, it's like the first BIOS, man. And there's been like 14 BIOSes since then with lots of critical changes. And I'm not just talking about security stuff. You know, PL1, PL2 settings for Intel. You got AMD on their side of things with like AMD Master and like a lot of other settings to get the maximum out of your investment, right? A lot of cool stuff. But man, definitely make sure you check your stuff, make sure everything's good, because sometimes that front panel connector could be a little loose. You can clip that. Oh, look at you guys all dropping this, the tech support in the chat. I love it. I freaking love it. Like, check the resizable bars on to add to the RAM and the NVMe, etc. Yep. Local security policies. Oh, yeah. User rights agreement. Well, I don't think a lot of people go too into that one good, but I do know definitely some people that do. You know what I mean? No more stinky paging. Yep. And then you have software like GIMP, which is garbo no matter what you build. Dude, I think people just, different things like, you know what I mean? Like you get the system, you get it up and running, but then there's just so much more to do now that it's built, right? There's so much more involved software wise, a lot of other things and just all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And that thing is going to open a world that you have no idea what you're going to get out of that 3 months, 6 months, 3 years down the road. Hopefully it gives you a good time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's going to wrap it up for us here at Thermaltake Live. I hope you guys enjoyed our beautiful View 390 stream. I think the system came along pretty good. I mean, besides, just hooking up like the Mind Cube, getting the software going, getting a lot of that stuff set up, that's all comes later with software and everything. Check drivers, check BIOSes, all that stuff. I mean, just make sure everything's set up. You know what I mean? But hey, for the build and the View 390, it's going to be rocking and rolling. I always like to save the peel for the end because then the glass is just so pristine and looks just so good right here. I don't want to touch it to take it apart, but sadly it's going to be decommissioned and disassembled like Johnny 5 for the next one. But hey, that's what it's all about. On to the next. Coming up next Wednesday, we're going to have a special stream in store with a special guest. We're going to be doing something fun, which I can't announce just yet. But for all you guys that are hanging out after the Waffle, want to give you a little update. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely something a little more old school. I think you guys are really going to like it. I'm super excited for it. So stay tuned for next Wednesday on Thermaltake Live as we're going to have some fun coming up with some old school stuff. I think you guys are really going to dig. And of course, definitely waffles. You know what I mean? You guys have a great one. Have a great rest of your week. That weekend is halfway there. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Happy hump day. Happy hump day. I hope it's a 200 mil fan announcement. Oh, the cat's out of the bag. It's a 400 mil fan announcement. All right, you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Latest.